rank officer and will comprise 5,000 troops. There will be no brigade commanders within the IBG structure. The IBG will comprise military, infantry, the Corps of Electronic, Mechanical, Engineers, Combat Engineers, Army Service Corps and Field Hospitals. It is reported that this is part of a larger restructuring within the Indian Army. Rudra Brigades, Bhairav Battalions, Divyaastra batteries and Shaktibhan units are all part of the restructuring mandate. The IBGs will be capable of carrying out both offensive and defensive operations. The study on this was done by General Bipin Rawat. The idea was test bedded at 9 corps on the western border in 2019 but remains to be implemented. The IBG concept was also tested through multiple exercises in the Eastern Theatre, including Him Vijay in 2019. They have got 4 strike corps, but that's a different context. Right now, we will talk about why IBGs. So I'm joined by Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, former DG Infantry, and Major General Rajan Kochar. Thank you both of you. Let me straight away go to General Sanjay Kulkarni first. So my question to you is, the Chinese have got combined arms group. They have also integrated the air defense system. So is this IBG a response to that development, sir?
See, Kartikeya, not necessarily. Change is constant. This reconfiguration is a necessity, primarily keeping in view how we are able to react. And that reaction can only be able to do if you catered for troops which ensure that the task and the terrain, all of it are kept under threat, of course, and how quickly can you mobilize to a point of wherever the contact or where we intend to utilize this particular IBG called the integrated battle group. That integrated word itself indicates that all of it has been integrated. Like you rightly said, it has the infantry, it has the mechanized, it has the artillery, it has the EME, logistics, aircraft, aviation, all of it, drones, it's a compact group which is able to react. And again, keeping in view the kind of terrain, the mountainous terrain, where it's very difficult to move huge body of troops. And therefore, this integrated battle group comprising about 5,000 people are able to be mobilized at the earliest, at the point where we intend to do, keeping in view the way what the Chinese are. The Chinese have a Western theatre now. They obviously have integrated themselves. So we have also decided that we must be able to integrate. Nothing much changes on ground of the troops that are deployed. But yes, these IBGs are one which can be able to contact, keeping in view the task in mind. Okay. It is with that in mind that we need an integrated battle group, and therefore in mountains, especially in mountains, it's very difficult to mobilize. It's very difficult to get to it. And if you have a small, compact, ready-made, why not utilize it? Yeah.
Okay. General Kochar, is it about the speed? Is it about getting all the components together? What operational purpose will these IBGs achieve fluently? Put it in the larger context of the restructuring which is taking place within the Indian Army, whether it's Agniveer, Rudra, Bhairav, so that the people can make a sense of the larger stream that is flowing in Indian Army today.
Thank you, Kartik. See, let us understand the environment in which this IBGs are going to function, and then I think we can understand the role of the IB. The IBGs are going to work in a VUCA environment, and a VUCA environment, especially when the mountain terrain is there, you will not get that much of time to mobilize. And 2020, this was experienced by us that PLA could mobilize faster than us. So I think that seed of thought came into the mind of General Rawat at that point of time. Second is the UDA cycle. When you have to take a decision, and when you have a corps and a division and a brigade and a long chain of command and a long organizational structure, you want to cut out this chain of command structure. You want a decision to be taken in a faster time frame. So these are the two concepts, important ones we need to understand. Now coming to the role as such, when you have a faster kind of a speed with you, when you have a jointness with you, and when you have logistics with you. And here, being a logistic man, I can tell you that without logistics, this unit will not be able to sustain itself. So you have a small compact unit with an integrated logistics, integrated jointness, all the arms are there with you, something like the Chinese have, the combined arms brigade. It's on more or less on a similar concept.
But there's also integrated air defense into it with artillery.
Yeah, that artillery is integrated in IBGs also. You have a RT regiment, you have a squadron of armored also. Because
but not air defense.
Not air defense. See, so far things are classified. So far, the entire information of IBG has not actually come out. So once we see the declassification of this, possibly we can discuss this on the national TV. So one important aspect is preemptive forward deployment, a rapid occupation of a critical terrain, because here the concept of the IBG is that we don't have to go deep into the enemy territory, even about 6 to 8 kilometers ingress, and you hold ground there. And also both offensive as well as defensive operations, something like a shallow localized offensive operations can also be done. And the last point is, and the most important, this IBG is going to be self-contained without any external reinforcement or logistics for a period of 72 to 96 hours. Because that is the crunch time, the 3-4 days of the initial battle, you are self-contained, you are not looking behind, and you are able to sustain the momentum of the operation. So you want a unit like this, and the Rudra brigade, the Bhairav battalions are also organized on similar lines, which are going to be deployed in the Rajasthan sector as well as on the line of control. They are also on a similar concept. So I think the entire Indian Army and this rank of brigadier, I think, will be done away with. So far, nothing has come in black and white. But then when you don't have brigades, I don't think there is no need of a brigadier also. So you are going to have these kind of concepts. Okay. And I think that is the need of the hour.
Okay.
Because unless you have this kind of a force available with you, you will not be able to dictate terms with your adversary.
Okay. General Kulkarni, is this part of that reform mode that has been in conversation, lighter, leaner, in terms of pension reforms that the government has carried out, it became debatable, Agniveer. But, the concept like Rudra, Bhairav, they're all new to the people. But do we see it part and parcel of the way the whole institution is evolving?
Yeah, absolutely. Kartikeya, much that, in the civil world, it may be something new with names and all. Most of it is being already tried out. Most of it is being, we are all prepared. These kind of configurations don't take very long. And this reconfiguration for leaner, meaner is primarily with a view in keeping in as to what is required and what is expected. If we are building so much of infrastructure, we're building roads, we're building tunnels, we're able to mobilize so fast. And if you're able to mobilize with a complete team intact, not looking back at all for a task that has been given to it, why not? So all of it is generally done. But yes, now giving it a name, giving it a task, keeping in view with the threat, keeping in view with the terrain, all of it, the way they will be equipped would be based on the terrain. Because the ones in the deserts will be, equipped differently. Ones in mountains will be equipped differently. Each one of them would have their own requirements of self-contained, how long they would need to be self-contained, and keeping that. So therefore, anyone in serving there, and as you rightly said, post-strike corps are there, when anything being deployed subsequently is a much later thing. But immediate impact, wherever you are required to be, we are already trained. And rightly said, under a major general, 5,000 people, perfectly fine. I think these are all lighter, meaner, and very agile groups which can react, act, and the infrastructure being created is with that purpose, so that mobilization is done. And you are not looking back at all. Everybody knows. They're familiar with the terrain. They're familiar with the equipment. They're familiar with the enemy that they might likely to confront. And you've achieved your aim. Aim is to be ready at all times. Because
Actually, when I read this report, so it just reminded me of the documentary I was seeing in one of the OTT platforms called Marines, So, Marines having their own fighter jets, they have their own sniper divisions, they have their own, heavy machine gun division, close combat specialists, field hospitals, they have their own ships, helicopters, surveillance aircraft. It means that the entire ecosystem can be moved, without mobilizing the entire length and breadth of the army to achieve those critical objectives for your country. I think I think it's a great story to talk about. I wish really I had more time because, it's a fascinating thing the way Indian Army is changing, with times. And I think I wish I had more time with both of you gentlemen. I'm really sorry I had to cut short this conversation. Thank you for joining me. This is all I had on Point today. I'll see you again at 7 p.m. tomorrow. Thank you and good night.
हम लोग शंघाई या सिंगापुर होने की बात क्यों करें, लोग मुंबई बनाने की बात करें, इस प्रकार का मुंबई तैयार करते हैं। अभी देखिए मुंबई का जो ट्रैफिक है, 60% ऑफ मुंबई मूव्स ऑन वेस्टर्न एक्सप्रेसवे। इन नेक्स्ट 5 to 7 years वी आर गोइंग टू ट्रांसफॉर्म मुंबई। भाईंदर